Okay, we're back again here at the Greatest Sports Channel. We're on to the third mock baseball game. These are the greatest games ever played. This is all based off of the Greatest Baseball book by Mark Megna, who came up with the greatest baseball players of all time using the absolute adjusted slugging percentage ratio, which was who are the greatest players of all time in their era. This fifth team consists of a lot of players that were somewhat of my favorites. Cesar Cedeno, Felipe Alou hitting second, Reggie Smith, Norm Cash hitting cleanup, a guy that's not in the Hall of Fame, Cap Anson, DH, Ron Santo at third, Yogi Berra catching, Charlie Gehringer at second, Alan Trammell at short, and Sandy Koufax is pitching. Team number 6, that was team number 5 there. This is the third mock baseball game that we've had so far in this Greatest Players playoff using the Megamatic baseball game. Joe Medwick leads off, Jim Wynn, Jack Clark, Orlando Cepeda hitting cleanup, Jim Ray Hart at third, Boog Powell, Rod Carew, Mickey Cochran, Cal Ripken at short, and Lefty Grove pitching. So we'll get right to it. The first batter is Cesar Cedeno, and the pitch is in from Lefty Grove. All games are played here at Wrigley Field, and Cesar Cedeno's result is a base hit to lead off the game. That brings up Felipe Alou. A lot of these players on this fifth baseball team here were chosen as some of my favorite players, not that they were absolutely the fifth best at their position of all time. Okay, so the result is Felipe Alou. Another base hit. We got first and second, and that brings up big slugger Reggie Smith. Was a very dominating player in the 60s and 70s. And the pitch is in from Lefty Grove. Reggie Smith struck him out. We got one out. That brings up big hitting Norm Cash. In 1961, he had one of the greatest single seasons of all time. He's hitting cleanup for us here today against Lefty Grove. And the result is a strikeout, 2 outs. Lefty Grove shutting him down with 2 men on. And the next batter is Cap Anson, pre-1900 player, dead ball player era, in the Hall of Fame. And the result is a 3-run shot by Cap Anson. Deep, deep center field. Cap Anson hits a 3-run shot off of Lefty Grove with 2 outs. So they take a 3-0 lead. That brings up Ron Santo. Don Brill's favorite player of all time. Ron Santo was up against Lefty Grove. And the result is a ground out. So that is 3 outs. They get 3 runs, top of the first. We'll get right to the bottom of the first right away. Joe Medwick leading off for team number 6 here against Sandy Koufax in the greatest mock games of all time. Joe Medwick up, and the result is a K. Sandy Koufax brings that heat and gets a K to lead off the bottom of the first. Brings up the toy cannon, Jim Wynn. Jim Wynn against Sandy Koufax, a classic matchup. And the result is base hit for Jim Wynn. Brings up Jack Clark. Jack Clark had a great career, hit for power, got a lot of walks, had a great on-base percentage. He's hitting third here. And the result is an HR for Jack Clark off Sandy Koufax, a 2-run shot. So we have a 3-2 ball game. That brings up Orlando Cepeda, one of my favorite players of all time, against Sandy Koufax. Again, a classic matchup here in the greatest games ever played. And the result is a double for Orlando Cepeda. We have 1 out, man on second. Brings up one of my favorite players, Jim Ray Hart. Didn't have all that great of a career, but when he was on, he was a tough hitter during his time. Jim Ray Hart We got a ground out there, so 2 outs. That brings up Boog Powell. Boog Powell against Sandy Koufax. See what he can do. 2 outs, man on second. And the result is a base hit for Boog Powell. We have first and third. Brings up Rod Carew. Carew, who had a great lifetime batting average, did not rank that high in the book, the greatest, as high as you would think, but still a great hitter. And he shows it, gets a base hit, and knocks in Orlando Cepeda. So that's 3-3. We ties up the game. Boog moves to second. Brings up Mickey Cochran, who's playing catcher for us today. Sandy Koufax with the pitch. We have first and second with 2 outs. Mickey Cochran. And the result is a double. Knocks in another run. Boog Powell comes around chugging. He scores 4-3. We have second and third. And that brings up Cal Ripken. 2 outs. Cal Ripken against Sandy Koufax. Classic matchups that you would never see anywhere else except these greatest games. Cal Ripken. 6. A double. Knocks in 2 more. Big clutch hit by Cal Ripken off Sandy Koufax there. That makes it 6-3. Man on second, Joe Medwick up again against Sandy Koufax. We have 2 outs. Joe Medwick up, back to the top of the order against Koufax. And the result is another double. Knocks in Ripken. So that makes it 7-3. They are just pounding Koufax here. And that brings up Toy Cannon, Jim Wynn, who had a base hit the first time. 2 outs. Holy cow. Jim Wynn, an HR 2-run shot. They are pouring it on Sandy Koufax. This is unbelievable. In the greatest games ever played, these are mock baseball games of the greatest players of all time. We have 3, 7, 9-3 here in the bottom of the first. That brings up Jack Clark against Koufax is getting absolutely shelled. They haven't pulled him. Okay, Jack Clark, he flies out. Finally, Koufax gets out of the inning. All right, top of the second, Yogi Berra leading off against Lefty Grove. We have a barn burner, a crazy game, 9-3, a lot of scoring. HR for Yogi Berra to lead it off. They're going to need a lot of this. 9-4, that brings up Charlie Gehringer. Had a great career, great batting average. Played second base. 29, so the result for Gehringer, double. Gets a double off of Lefty Grove. We're playing the mock baseball game, Megomatic Baseball. Alan Trammell up, a player that's not in the Hall of Fame, but should be. Should be inducted actually ahead of Derek Jeter if we really just went on the pure player. Trammell strikes out here, however. That puts up Cesar Cedeno. If going back to Trammell, if you just took into account just the pure player, not popularity, or the great teams that Jeter played on, Trammell was a better player than Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter's fielding was horrendous. All right, Cesar Cedeno is up, and the result is a base hit for Cesar Cedeno. He's 2 for 2. That makes it first and third. They need a lot more base runners. Felipe Alou up against Lefty Grove. Felipe Alou. And the result is he walked him. Bases juiced for Reggie Smith. They need something big here. We've got 1 out. The bags are juiced against Lefty Grove. And the result is Reggie Smith. Ground out. Ooh, big out. 2 outs. That brings up Norm Cash. Norm Cash, bases loaded against Lefty Grove. They are down 9-4. Top of the second. Really needs it right here. Norm Cash, 29. Double, big double. Knocks in 2. That brings in Charlie Gehringer and Cesar Cedeno score. So we are now at 9-6. Cap Anson, can he keep it alive? They're still down 3 against Lefty Grove. We have a very high-scoring game going here. Cap Anson up. And the result is a walk. We have first and second. We have bases loaded again for Ron Santo. Can he pull off a miracle? They are down 3, 9-6, top of the second. And Ron Santo's up. And we have a base hit by Santo. That knocks in 1. We are at 9-7. That brings up Yogi Berra. He had a home run last time. Can he do it again? Against Lefty Grove. Classic matchups. Yogi, the perennial MVP. Let's see what he can do. 35, a double. He knocks in 2 more. So now the score is 2, 4, 6, 9-9. We have second and third. Charlie Gehringer up. We have an unbelievable high-scoring game going here. Charlie Gehringer against Lefty Grove. The pitch is on its way, and Gehringer with a ground out. So that is the inning. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 outs. Yes. All right, so 3, 6, 9, 9-9. And we head to the bottom of the second. Orlando Cepeda leading off. We just keep these games moving along. Every batter gets 1 pitch from a great pitcher here. And we'll know the result right now. Orlando Cepeda strikes out to lead off the bottom of the second. Jim Ray Hart up. The pitch from Sandy Koufax. We have a 9-9 game. You couldn't have a better situation for the crowd. They are on their feet. Jim Ray Hart hits a double. We have a man on second. 1 out. Boog Powell up. The pitch from Sandy Koufax. They were going to pull him, but they left him in. He's still surviving. 9-9. And we have the result. It is a K. Boog Powell strikes out. Puts up Rod Carew. Carew needs to get something going here. We've got 2 outs, man on second. 9-9 game. The pitch from Koufax. Rod Carew. The result is a flyout. So that inning ends. 9-9, bottom of the second. We head to the top of the third. Alan Trammell leading off for team number 5 of the greatest players of all time. Alan Trammell against Lefty Grove. Tie score. The result is ground out. That brings up Cesar Cedeno, 1 out. Tie score, 9-9. These games are unbelievable. Cesar Cedeno against Lefty Grove, classic matchups. This could be big. It is a triple. Cesar Cedeno with that speed got to third. We got 1 out. Brings up Philippe Alou. He was a great player in the 60s. Didn't get that much recognition in the history of baseball, but believe me, he was a great player. He K'd here, though, in a clutch situation against Lefty Grove. We've got 2 outs. That brings up Reggie Smith. Reggie Smith, man on third. 2 outs, needs a hit. And the result is a base hit, knocks him in. So we have 10-9. Reggie Smith with a clutch base hit there. Norm Cash, let's see if he can keep it going. 10-9. I don't know if that 1 run's going to hold up. They've been getting to Koufax. Here's the pitch from Lefty Grove. And Norm Cash gets a double. That makes it second and third. Brings up Cap Anson. Great, great player. Had a home run last time up. A 3-run shot. Cap Anson against Lefty Grove. The result is a flyout. And that is the end of the inning. So they leave second and third. They only score 1. They're up 10-9. We are going to the bottom of the third, last inning, and we just move right along. Mickey Cochran up against Sandy Koufax is surviving so far. The pitch, and Mickey Cochran with a double. Cal Ripken up. Cal Ripken against Sandy Koufax. They're down 10-9. Nobody out. Man on second. Here's the pitch to Cal Ripken. And the result is a base hit, a single. We have first and third. Nobody out. Back to the top of the order. Joe Medwick. These mock games have been so fantastic. Harry Carey announcing here from Wrigley Field. Greatest games of all time. The result is Joe Medwick with a walk. We have bases loaded with the toy cannon. Jim Wynn up. They're down 1 run. 10-9. Nobody out. Can Jim Wynn keep it going? The result is a flyout, which is a sacrifice fly. That brings home Mickey Cochran. So we have a 10-10 ball game. First and second, 1 out. That is an RBI that ties up the game, brings up Jack Clark, 10-10. What's going to happen here? Jack Clark against Sandy Koufax, 10-10. Koufax has been struggling all day, and the result is Jack Clark, a base hit that loads them up. Unbelievable, 10-10 right now. And that brings up big hitting Orlando Cepeda with 1 out and bases loaded against Sandy Koufax in the greatest games of all time. These mock games. The result is a walk. Sandy Koufax walks in the winning run. And that is your final of the third mock game of the greatest games ever played. Team 6 beats Team 5 11-10. To review, Joe Medwick was 1 for 2 with a walk. Jim Wynn 2 for 2 with a homer and a sac fly. Jack Clark 2 for 3 with a homer. Orlando Cepeda 1 for 2 and a walk. Jim Rayhart 1 for 2. Boog Powell 1 for 2. Rod Carew 1 for 2. Mickey Cochran 2 for 2. Cal Ripken 2 for 2. And our MVP of the game is Jim Wynn. Sandy Koufax gets a loss. Lefty Grove gets the win. For Team 5, the losing team, Cesar Cedeno was 3 for 3 with a triple, scored 3 times. Felipe Alou was 1 for 2 and a walk. Reggie Smith 1 for 3 with an RBI. Norm Cash 2 for 3 with 2 doubles and 2 ribbies. Cap Anson was 1 for 2 and an HR and a walk. Ron Santo was 1 for 2. Yogi Berra was 2 for 2 with a homer. Charlie Gehringer 1 for 2. Alan Trammell was 0 for 2. Lefty Grove gets a win, and that is it. Team number 6 with the win, 11-10 in another great game here with the mock baseball.